Hello there, it's Shelly Shumway, and thank you for your interest in the emotional weight release that I've experienced in in the last, gosh, it's been a year now. So instead of responding to you personally, there were a few people that I needed to respond to, and I figured that in order to give you a better picture of what happened for me, I would just film a little video for you. So I have a little PowerPoint share that I'm going to share so I can share some pictures with you and really give you an idea of what this has been for me, and let you know how you can learn more about what this journey has been and what it can be for you if that's something that that is on your mind, something that during this new year that you want. I know every mid-January, I know I said this in my post, but every mid-January, without fail, at least for the last decade, well, more than that, I've struggled with weight release, or with my weight, since like 4th, 5th grade. So I never really had a thin to get back to, but as far back as I can remember, I would complain to my husband and say, when will it ever be my year? When will I ever figure this out? When will I ever have results that other people have? Everybody else is thin around me. All my in-laws were like effortlessly thin. I know it's not effortlessly, but I just saw a lot of people who just didn't struggle like I did. And I ate pretty well, and I ran 5Ks, and I did other stuff. So I really wanted to know what it was for me. And so let me tell you the story. So I'm gonna do that with this PowerPoint. So if I can remember how to do this, I'm gonna share this with you. Okay, I think it's sharing. Yep. I'm gonna go from the beginning. Oops. Okay. So I talked about in that first slide that just went by, how I released 4 inches, or 4 sizes in about, it took me about 5 months, 6 months, something like that. It took me about 5 months, but I always say 6 months because people look at me like, are you serious? When I told them 5 months. They think that I'm like really exaggerating or something, and actually it was a little less than that, I think, but it's easier to say 5 months. So let me just share this with you and see if this resonates with you. So have you ever had this before, where you felt like everybody said that working out works and that's the answer, and it didn't work for you? That's how it was for me. Are you tired of stressing over measuring and weighing yourself on the scale and not seeing anything move, as if you're not doing anything? Or do you struggle with what to eat, what to avoid? Should I go paleo, vegan, keto, grapefruit cleanse? And how can I keep from eating everything in sight, whether I'm hungry or not? I've got these awful cravings and I just want to eat the whole house. I'm going to share with you how I released weight. I didn't lose it. I don't want to find it again. So I never say I lost weight. I released it. My body released it through emotional, intuitive, and spiritual tools, instead of focusing on diet and exercise. And I know that might sound crazy, but it's true. As an emotion coach, I have studied for years how emotions affected me, my family, my friends, and my clients. And as an emotion coach, I coach one-on-one clients. I coach in groups, and I've done that for about 4 years now, 4.5 years now. And I wondered, knowing a lot about emotions and helping a lot of people with their emotions and helping myself with my emotions, I wondered if emotions affected weight. But I was missing some very important pieces until last year. And up until then, I had tried all sorts of different diet plans, ran 5Ks, did yoga. I still love yoga. Worked out at the gym, did all sorts of cleanses, used diet supplements, and ate better than most of my family. And I still work out at the gym here and there. I love working out. I love how it feels. I just never released weight doing it. I usually gained weight because I gained muscle, but I never actually, it wasn't a weight loss, a weight release plan for me. For some people, I know it works. For my husband, it does. For me, it never really did. And I really wondered about that. So all of those things I did, nothing budged. My weight stayed put or went up with each baby. And I had 5 of them. I've got 5 awesome little kids. So this was on vacation in Kauai. And you know, you want to feel beautiful. When you're in a beautiful tropical paradise, you want to match the place that you're in because you're going to be in the pictures, right? You want to feel beautiful. And I felt like a beached whale. It's really, I remember the pain from this picture. This was one of my better pictures. So fast forward to last January. So I was invited to do a pageant, the Mrs. Idaho America pageant, to be exact. And the director found me on Facebook and said I was darling and invited me to participate in this pageant. And I'm thinking, what? Me, the one in t-shirt and jeans, the one who has never wore more than 2-inch heels, the one who has struggled with her weight since 4th grade, who spends much of her time trying to hide her weight, who compares herself to all those who seem to effortlessly get and stay thin, who feels uncomfortable in a swimsuit in her own bedroom, let alone up on a pageant stage, and is a size 16. I'm thinking, you're awesome, but seriously, do you see me? I'm thinking, okay, my Facebook videos are like this, no, just right around my face, and I hide behind my kids in my pictures. I kind of chuckled. And this is, you know, this was my profile pic on Facebook. It still is. This we haven't gotten a new picture since then, but this was just this was just before like the fall before. And you notice how I hid myself and my family. I had it all planned out how we were going to do that picture. So I politely declined. I told her, thank you so much, but pageants really aren't on my radar right now. I actually didn't know there was a Mrs. pageant ever, and you'd be surprised how many Mrs. pageants there are. So, but I couldn't shake it. I just couldn't shake it. So finally I told my best friend about it in March. And she said, but Shelly, think of the personal development that it would require even to apply. And when she said that, I was just like, oh, dang it. Because I'm all about personal development. I have been for years. I eat, drink, I can't get enough of it. I'm hungry for it all the time. That's what's on my mind. And so there's an opportunity to improve and progress, and I don't take it. I couldn't imagine, you know, it would be worse not taking it, knowing it was there and it was meant for me. So I knew I needed to do it. But first of all, I have to say, what in the heck? How am I going to do that? But I committed to walking across that pageant stage, no matter what size I was. But then I pled with God that He wouldn't let me be the fat girl who did it. That I wouldn't be the fat girl who said she was pretty no matter what size she was. I didn't want to be that example walking across that stage. And I told Him that I would do this, but that He had to help me. Because I know it was Him telling me to do it. And so I required Him to help me do it. But I had no muscle memory of being thin. I didn't have a thin to get back to. I didn't have any example of what it felt like to be thin before. And I also had issues with thin people. I didn't feel like I belonged in their club. Isn't that funny? I had mindset issues that stemmed back from elementary school about the cool people who were thin or the beautiful people who were thin. And I just never fit in to that mold. I never fit into that group. I never felt like I belonged. And so there were a lot of mindset things that go way, way back. I even vibrate, even just like I'm kind of vibrating, just remembering it, just remembering what I did. So how in the world was I going to not only release weight, which would be a miracle, but feel okay in my body with all these beautiful, confident, charming women? And how was I going to walk across that stage in a swimsuit and heels and not have an out-of-body experience? Like have my spirit like barely hanging on, like barely like in my head and like out here because it wasn't comfortable enough to be down inside my body. That's what I wanted to avoid because I thought that's what I'm going to do. So I started praying and asking like crazy. In the coming weeks, while reading my scriptures or pondering or praying, a dialogue would enter my mind. So I'd scroll over, I'd be on my phone, usually, reading my scriptures on my phone, and I would scroll, I'd like, all of a sudden a dialogue would come into my mind, and I'd be like, whoa, what is that? And it would just keep going. So I'd hurry and scroll over to a memo and just press record and just talk into my phone as fast as I could and try to capture it all, you know, and I fill up that memo and then open another one and talk into it, you know, fill it up. Because it took so, I mean, it just started coming so quickly. I knew that if I tried to write it down, I would miss most of it. And so I called these heavenly downloads. And it was amazing how many of these that I got. And there were specific things to do to release weight. Some of them were brand new that I never thought of before. And some are things that I had received earlier in response to prayer or from other resources. And I had tried them before and they had kind of worked. And I was told how to do them differently, or how to do them, but do them with this and this and this. And so it was kind of like puzzle pieces fitting together. It was quite amazing. It was quite amazing to watch it unfold. Because of my background in emotional work and energy release, the concepts that I was receiving, these heavenly downloads, made perfect sense to me, but I would not have trusted them to release weight for me unless I'd been inspired to use them. I would have thought they were just a good idea to make me feel happy. That's what I realized. But I didn't realize that making yourself happy actually helps you release weight. I did not realize that. I did not see the connection there. I always thought that releasing weight involved force and making yourself do it. I never realized that being happy and at peace would do it. I always thought, no, I can't let go. I can't let go of that. I have to have control over my body. You can have a lot more control over your body when you let it go, which we'll talk more about. Okay, and I've got a lip. I need some lip gloss. Okay, so I committed to use every tool, every piece of knowledge, and every reminder from previous years of things that I had learned before that I was given. And I fully expected these to somehow help me release weight because they were answers to prayer. So this was me. It's still funny that I'm showing you this picture. Whenever I show this picture, I just kind of smile like, I can't believe I'm sharing this picture. For some reason, in late May, as a size 16, I had my husband take a picture of me. I would have taken off my socks if I'd known I was going to share it and probably moved that stuff over. I can't even imagine. If I had known I was going to share this, I would never have taken this picture. And it was actually very embarrassing even to be in my swimsuit in my bedroom at all, let alone have my husband take a picture of me. And this was the best picture. Oh, I was so uncomfortable. Okay, this is in about early July. And this is me trying on an outfit for the pageant. And I think I'm about a size 10. And this is me in the Mrs. Idaho America pageant in early October at a size 8. So I'd gone from a 16 to an 8 from late May to early October. So you can do the math on that. I don't like to count. So that's, it was amazing. And you know what? This was not an out-of-body experience. I was fully in my body and rocking it. Like I felt so confident. And I have to tell you, I went off the stage and And I felt so giddy and so excited that I had done that and owned it. Like I went out there and owned it. I felt so good in my body that I wanted to go right back out and do it again. I'm like, can I go do that again? I was contestant number 9 out of 40. So no, I couldn't go do that again. But man, it was just cool. It was just really, really cool. Okay. I know what it's like to struggle, to feel hopeless, to feel completely helpless to change my body. I lived that way for 30 plus years while trying to change my body. And this is normally how I looked. Right here, this picture, I was a little above average. That's what I called myself. In many ways, a little above average. I wanted a picture of this bridge back here in the back behind me. This is that same trip in Kauai. And my husband wanted me to be in the picture. And I just wanted the picture of the bridge. But he likes to have people in the pictures. And I had already taken a dozen pictures of him. And he's like, it's your turn. I'm like, no. And I felt fat and I knew I looked fat and I couldn't find a way to pose that made me look better. I think this was one of like 10 pictures that we took. And I just wanted to disappear. I just wanted to disappear. I remember how I felt that day. I was so sad. I was so sad. I had no way of changing my body. I had achieved in other areas of my life, like I was a mother of 5 cute kids, wife of an awesome man. I served in my church. I prayed. I was living much of my personal mission through being a coach. I loved what I did. And I had transformed a lot on the inside. But in all my achieving, they were all overshadowed by my overweight body. I still didn't look like I'd achieved much on the outside because my body was all you saw. And it had only gotten bigger and more out of control. I felt like a failure because although I had stick-to-itiveness in other areas of my life, and I really do, I just couldn't stick to a diet plan or an exercise plan. My food scale stayed in the bottom drawer, and my exercise DVD collection was dusty, and nothing had really worked. And I just felt guilt, shame, and laziness whenever I saw those things. But what if there was some way to lose weight that I'd never thought of before? And as I pondered on this, that's when my mind and my phone memos were filled with ideas of how the body can release weight. What if the body released weight more effectively with love and joy rather than with pushing and forcing? That was one of the questions that came to mind. What if there was some way to lose weight that I've never heard of? Oh, this is the same one. That's funny. That's a much more beautiful slide, but it's the same one. So what if it was possible to talk to my body and have my body talk back to me and give me answers? What if my body was just waiting or just wanting to release weight all along and just waiting for me to do something in particular? What if my body was needing to feel more safe and nurtured before it could let go of extra weight? So all these questions, as these questions came to my mind and as I asked them, the answer to each of these questions was a big yes. I learned that our bodies put on weight and hold on to it in an effort to protect us. I also learned that fat cells are there to protect us from both physical and emotional toxins. So that's why people love to do cleanses and detoxes, because it helps you release and lose inches, right? That's why people love to detox. Well, toxins are stored in the fat cells. That's why you release inches like that. But I also learned through this process that emotional toxins are also stored in the fat cells, that we take on emotions. And if we take them on very intensely, we hold on to those emotions. We don't let them go. And they become stored in our body. They actually take up space in our body, which is kind of a crazy concept when you first hear about it, but it's very true. I help people do energy release all the time, and they feel lighter when we do that energy release. And it's because they have released that weight of that energy, of those toxic negative thoughts. So as we release those, both the physical and the emotional toxins, as we release those, our fat cells shrink. We release inches. And here's a few other important tidbits that I learned: that your body is intelligent, that you can ask it questions, such as what it can digest at the moment. There are healing properties in oxygen and water. That's something that I had learned before that was brought back to my memory and told me why that was important for weight release. And the body releases more weight if you're genuinely happy and at peace with yourself, because you release panic. You are able to be grounded and centered and at peace in your body. Your body is able to feel safe and secure and nurtured. And there's many, many more tidbits that I learned that were very key in putting all these puzzle pieces together. And weight release doesn't have to be a struggle. Actually, the less struggle, the more the weight release. We don't have to fight against our bodies. Actually, the more we love, nurture, and partner as friends with our bodies, the easier the weight release. I thought I was just doing this weight release to avoid humiliation on a stage and to love and receive love from my body that I'd never experienced before, because that is really what happened with me. That was the hugest gift to feel that love from my body and for my body. But I didn't realize that I would be teaching it. So soon after I posted this spontaneous video with my baby one Friday afternoon out in the yard, celebrating my weight release, I started getting messages, comments, and texts asking if I could help them do the same thing. And I didn't know what to tell them, because I didn't know how to put into words what I'd been doing. I asked them, about 300 of them, that's about what it ended up being by the end of the day, it was about 300, to wait until I feel it out. I had to pray and ponder on if this was something I could share, because it was so personal, it was so intimate, and some spiritual components I didn't know if I had permission to share, if they were appropriate to share, or if they were, because they were so very personal. I mean, this had been my biggest trial of my life. So how do I just turn around and share that? There's parts of me that are not private at all, but then this was like super private, because it was like super vulnerable for me. And it still is. It still is vulnerable for me to do this video for you. Anyway, I prayed and pondered over the next week, and finally the thought came into my mind. I gave you these things to share for your own happiness, but also because you are in a position to share, and it'd be a shame if you didn't share them. So at that point, this program was born. I decided I had not really an obligation, that's kind of a heavy word, but kind of it would be a shame not to share what I had learned so other people could benefit, because it was such an easier experience than I ever thought it would be. It did take a lot of effort, emotional effort. It took commitment. It took faith. But it wasn't forcing my body to be uncomfortable. It was loving my body into it. It was encouraging my body. It was like, and that's why I say it was easier, because it was so different. And so, and it wasn't struggle like I was used to. So let me tell you a little bit about what the program is and what it ended up being. So this was, it's been going for a while now, since last August. About 35 people have gone through the program so far. So let me tell you what this program doesn't do. This program doesn't focus on surface solutions, but dives deep into the core of who you are. This program doesn't talk about exercise routines or specific meal plans, but talks about those things that truly feed you. This program doesn't rely on supplements, memberships, or other external things, but helps your body heal and release weight on its own. That's what I love about it. It doesn't this program, it uses what you have. It uses the free things that we have in our lives. Water, food, oxygen. Food isn't free, I guess, but it's not anything specific or special. That's what I like about it. So anybody can do it right now. This program shows you how to, this is what it actually does. So that's what it doesn't do, and this is what it does. It encourages your body to release weight through self-love and acceptance rather than struggle and forcing. It shows you how to become close friends with your body and work as partners rather than fighting against your body and consider it foreign or an enemy. I used to think my body was a foreign entity because I would look at a donut and gain 5 pounds. I literally would. So I thought that my body was out to spite me sometimes. I felt like it was a foreign person, a foreign entity, you know what I mean, a foreign thing. I did not feel like we were friends at all. We didn't know each other. I didn't feel like I was wrong. And this program shows you how to see what your body is doing when it gains and holds on to weight and releases it. So you can actually make changes in your body the way it was designed to. This program costs way less than a few months of those supplements that weren't getting you to the core of what you needed to release weight. I know I have used so many different kinds of cleanses and supplements and all sorts of things like that, and spent a lot of money on those. And the awesome thing is that this program gives you solutions that last the rest of your life. They don't expire. They don't flush out of your body like supplements do or other things. It's something that you'll have forever, that you can use again and again and again and continually. And it's a joyful experience, so you'll want to use it continually. The program is on demand, so you can use it at your own pace. So there's no worries about needing more time to process things. Sometimes I need more time to process. I need to think it through. I need to mull it over. I need to let it sink in and absorb. And sometimes I get behind in programs. Or if you're the kind who like to speed ahead, then you can do that too. If you're like, got it, good, then you can go as slow or as fast as you want to. And I think that's very important with this kind of program because there is so much emotion tied to emotional weight release. I mean, we are working with emotions, and there's so much emotion tied to weight that you really need all the hope and the faith that is there. And so being forced to go too slow or too fast can bring up other emotions that you don't need to have. And so that's why I think that this is, it's good to be able to go at your own pace. It is structured into modules consisting of videos and text. So if you're more audio visual like I am, or if you're more text and reading, then it's there for you too, with exercises at the end of each to practice what is taught. And so they're very specific. I go in great detail about them in the video and also in the text, so that there really aren't any questions about what to do. I like to err more on more detail than less, so that you really know what I'm talking about and what the exercises are and what they do and why. I'm all about giving you all of the answers. And most of my offers as a coach, and many of the offers like this that have such impactful information would cost over $1,000 easily in a program like this. For the first time, I've offered this program for half of that cost. And for almost half that cost in order to make it available to more people. So the current regular price of this program is $747. That's not almost half, but that's what the current regular price of this program, that's what it's currently at. But it's valued at much more than that. If you were to take all of the things that, all the different places that I learned from to put all of this together, all the different programs that I took to put all of this together, to put all those puzzle pieces together, it's worth a lot more than $1,000. but this is a program that I want more people to be able to take advantage of. I feel like this is an epidemic. I feel like there are just a lot of people who would benefit from this where they haven't been able to benefit from traditional methods of releasing weight. And this is the perfect time to invest in yourself as the new year is starting to kick in and you're starting to think about what this new year will bring. You've already gotten past that New Year's resolution part where you're thinking, all of these awesome goals I want to do. Now you're in reality and thinking, okay, now seriously, what are the solutions for me? Wouldn't it be wonderful if you started to love yourself more than ever during this beginning of this year and during this year, and your body was releasing weight in response, and doing it in that way? Wouldn't it be awesome to feel peaceful in your body instead of panic about your weight? Imagine the love you feel from your body. Imagine the radiance that you shine to yourself and to others. Imagine your body feeling safe, secure, loved, nurtured. I will show you how to do that. So it releases weight in that loving, supported environment. I can't think of anything better. How often do we seriously give ourselves a loved, supported environment? We have to intentionally give ourselves that, because the world doesn't give us that. And even in our homes, we don't always feel that. It's something that's very intentional that we give ourselves. Imagine you creating your world safe, supported, and secure from the inside out. That's huge right there. And it's showing up in your world on the outside. And it not only supports changes in your body, but in relationships and in money also. And that is really exciting when it starts to work in relationships and money. It's fun to see these principles work in all of these areas of your life. As Rachel Hollis points out, when you take care of your physical environment, it raises the tide of everything else in your life. And it starts with your body. It starts with this physical creation that you have. The state of your body affects the rest of your life, every other piece of your life. As an emotion coach, I do group coaching and one-on-one coaching. And as I felt the urge to focus on this emotional weight release last year, I was also urged not to take on any more clients. And I thought, that was crazy. Seriously? Are you sure? Anyway, I kept asking, if I didn't bring in any more new clients, then how was my business going to make money? And the answer was just focus and get excited about weight release. And I was getting excited about weight release, like for the first time ever, because I knew it was possible. It was happening. And so it was exciting. But I was thinking, and I kept getting the answer again and again, because I'm stubborn enough to keep asking, why am I not trying to make money at the same time? But I focused on that emotional weight release and it worked. And as my body shifted, so did everything else in my life, my relationships, different streams of revenue in my business. And the most valuable to me was the shifts in myself. It really all does start there. And that is what ends up being the most valuable, because that's what you end up with is you. And that shift that happens inside you. I just looked up at the time and I'm like, oh my gosh, this was supposed to be a quick video and it's not, sorry. I hope it's entertaining. Okay, so the emotional weight release program is unique in that it shows you how to customize your weight release, as every person and every body is different. It helps you to key into your intuition to know and to be able to find those specific answers for you also. Your weight release journey will be unique and perfect for you in all of its twists and turns. All the things that it will do, it will be unique and perfect for you. A message I just got last week that I wanted to throw in here was awesome. Actually, this was just a couple days ago. I guess that was last week. Anyway, she said, I'm starting to feel differently about my body. My husband has been so complimentary lately. Also, someone at work asked me if I was losing weight. I haven't lost any according to the scale, but I feel happier. I finished a painting I started 2 years ago. I felt so good I cried, LOL. And she sent me a picture of the of the painting. It was beautiful. It was all these dolphins in the ocean. It was beautiful. Anyway, I felt the energy of that happy energy that was coming from her, that she's starting to awaken. Just before that, she had messaged me. She's an old roommate from college, and she had messaged me and said, I don't even have a purpose anymore. I don't even know what I'm doing with my life. Her kids are growing up, and she said, I don't know what is there for me. Anyway, it's really cool that by working on her body and loving her body, that she is realizing some of those things for herself. She is realizing that she loves art again. She's waking up. She's waking up those parts of herself that she wouldn't be able to wake up unless she was focused on her body and the inner workings, the emotions, all of those parts of her body. She's waking up. It's so cool. And these are some messages that I got a couple weeks ago, and that I thought I'd throw in here. Sarah says, I've been enjoying it. You've done a great job putting this program together, and I'm grateful for you. Which was said a lot, because I know Sarah has done a lot of other programs. So that was cool to see. And then Heidi says, I was up for 2 hours doing the writing activities you invited me to do after watching the videos. It was so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing your insight and inspiration. I'm realizing the obstacle in my weight loss journey isn't actually much about physical weight, but emotional weight. And that is so true. The interesting thing is that I went to a healthcare practitioner, and she said, intuitively, she said, I don't sense that in your fat cells you have a lot of physical toxins anymore. She said, I feel that they are emotional and a lot of perfectionism. I'm like, yep. She said, you release that and you're well on your way. Anyway, it was really cool to have somebody else back that up for me. It was really cool. Okay, so this is the details about the Emotional Weight Release Program. It has 8 weeks of value-packed modules that include energy-rich videos, personal stories and examples, a lot of those, tools to release weight and connect with your body, tools to listen to and receive help from your intuition. And these are big. Ways to ask for heavenly help in weight release. I have never put faith and weight release in the same sentence before. I never did that before. That was really, really, really big. Ways to strengthen your hope and faith, and that's all tied together right there. Specific exercises to follow, and special guest speakers. I have 2 special guest speakers that are included in these modules, and then additional resources and links to support what we're learning. Because there are other people out there that are saying similar things that are really awesome. Like, what's his name? Oh, I can't remember his name now. He died. What's his name? He just recently passed away. Anyway, I can't remember. But if you look, if you get the program, then you'll see him in there. Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer. That's his name. Thank you very much. Anyway, I just love sharing. I'm kind of a nerd, and I gather and collect lots of stuff that relates with what I'm learning, and so I love to pass that on. So I do that in these modules too. As I mentioned, the regular price of the Emotional Weight Release Program is $747, and today I'm happy to announce that it is offered at a New Year's deal at $547, which is like crazy because that was like a little bit more than the audio version. This used to be an audio version. The automated program was an audio version, and this is just a little bit more than that. So and that I felt like it was a really good deal, and they thought it was a really good deal. So $547 for video is like a lot better. So it's a really great deal. I don't know how long I'll leave it at this price. I usually go with my intuition on that. But it's there, at least through January. And so if this information resonates with you, I encourage you to jump on it, because I honestly don't know when that will change. I'm still getting this. Okay. This is an amazing deal for the information you're getting. It's not only all the spiritual information I received and used to release weight, but it also includes a decade's worth of previous tools. That's about how long I've been an entrepreneur, and about how long I've been on this journey longer than that, but about a decade that I've been an entrepreneur and in this personal development realm, worth of tools that when I put them all together and I was reminded of them and put this and use this and use this and use this, I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I not see this before? But putting together all of these tools and fit them together like a puzzle, it created a complete picture of weight release. And because weight release is very individual, I offer my 90-day happiness guarantee. Because I know that you're probably wondering, well, is this going to work for me? If you're like me, that's what I would be wondering. I'd be like, okay, I have used umpteen different programs before. Is this going to work for me? And so that's why I give this and freely give this 90-day happiness guarantee. And if you use these tools and you're not happy with your results, I will refund your money, no questions asked. I'll happily refund your money if you're not happy. So I just want you to not give yourself any excuses that would keep you from actually doing this. If this is your time, and I believe it is, then I don't want you to give yourself an excuse that isn't there, because you can get your money back if this does not work for you. And I'll happily give you that money back because I want you to find what's best for you. Okay, so now that the year is in full swing and you can think clearly about what you want, and really, like, I wait until like the second week of January to make my goals. I seriously do. Now that we can see what we're up against, now that you can see reality and say, okay, anyway, I'm going to read this because I'm probably going to say it twice if I don't. It's usually this time of January that people start to wonder if their goals are really going to happen. They wonder if they bit off more than they can chew. They wonder if they were a little too ambitious and overconfident in choosing their goals. And now is the time to find the core solutions that will help you at your deepest level and allow your body to do what it's wanted to do for years. Now you have the tools at your fingertips. It's time to reach out and grab them. This is not a quick fix program. You've probably seen that. It's one that gets to the core of what you need and actually gets things moving in your body. It helps negative energy release and allows you to feel a happiness in your body that is greater than you've ever experienced. And you can't put a price tag on that. I'm excited to see you on the other side. So I am going to put this on a website, and there will be a button below. And so just click on that button and it will take you forward and show you the way that you can take advantage of this special pricing. And thanks for hanging with me. This is like 47 minutes, but I hope it's been instructive. I hope it's been very good for you. And I would love to work with you. I would love to be able to share the tools that I've received, because they mean the world to me now. And I'd love you to have them too. So take care. See ya.